Hey, sixth graders, welcome back to school, or if you're still remote, welcome back to your house. Anyway, before we get started by talking about mixed numbers, which is very similar to what we did yesterday, I want to do a commercial again for your math notebook, right? Doing your work and keeping organized. So, yesterday there were several people when I was gone with my foot that had questions. So, let's pretend this is your piece of paper. Oops. Let's pretend this is your piece of paper. And in the upper right-hand corner, this is the spiral part. You've got the lesson, which today is 2.3. And then I would put the page, which is 74. And if I had room, I would put even. But you know you're only doing the even problems, so that shouldn't be a problem. And then also, because you want to use this as a reference to come back here, so you're going to put today's date, which is 1/21/21, and then number 2 goes over here, and you're going to start doing the work. So this gives you your reference of all the things you need to work on. So let's get started. You've had mixed numbers since you were in 3rd grade when you looked at pizzas that looked like this, or pies, or whatever you wanted. And so you had this pizza is cut into thirds. So as if there's going to be a fraction of that, it's going to be the denominator is going to be 3 because it's divided into thirds. So what happens if you have 5 thirds? Well, you got 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm going to need another one. 4 and 5. So 5 thirds equals 1 whole and 2 thirds left over. So 1 and 2 thirds. I think most people get that right now, so I don't want to dwell on that. We'll have time when we work together. So 5 thirds equals 1 and 2 thirds, because we know that this is 3 thirds. So if I add those together, 3 thirds plus 2 thirds equals 5 thirds. So let's talk about the operation. Yesterday we talked about dividing fractions by each other. So there's a little bit of a difference here today because we've got a mixed number. So we learned our algorithm yesterday was to take the reciprocal of the divisor, and we talked about why that was. Remember, you can go back and do an easy problem. Anything divided by itself is going to be 1. So in the algorithm that occurs there, so like if you had 3/4 divided by 3/4, you would take the reciprocal of that and multiply 3/4 times 4 thirds. I'm going to cross cancel. I have 1 times 1 equals 1. Anything divided by itself is itself. So I'm going to take that, I'm going to multiply by 4 thirds. But how do I do it? Some people have done this in partial products. They could say, oh, I just need to go 2 times 4 thirds plus 1/4 times 4 thirds. And that will work. But there's a much easier way, and that is to convert this number back to a fraction. So I know that 8/4 is the same as 2. So 2 and 1/4 turn out to be 9/4. And we have a lot of experience. We did this in 4th grade and 5th grade. But if you ran into trouble here, I hope you'll understand this. Just like with our pizzas we had a minute ago, you were going to look and see that 4/4 is 1. So 8/4 is 2. So I have here 2, I'm converting into 8/4 plus the 1/4 here equals 9/4. And now I can just multiply straight across, except for I don't have to. I can multiply 9 times 4 equals 36, but we talked about this cross-canceling. I'm going to notice that the 4s, 4 divided by 4 is 1. And again, let me explain. The reason we can do that is because 9 times 4 is the same as 4 times 9. So I'm just swapping these guys, and then not swapping these guys, 4 times 3. Well, now I've got some fractions. 4 divided by 4 is 1. And 9 divided by 3 is 1. So I'm doing that cross-canceling trick. I hope you can dig it. 3 goes into 3, 1, and 3 goes into 9 3 times. It's one of those ones that people say they have a hard time with, and then all of a sudden, if you practice enough, you can do it. 3 times 1 is 3. 1 times 1 is 1. So you just get a total of 3. So this is kind of a cool day, because if you're watching this video, it means that you're working early, because I'm going to see everybody in C cohort and B cohort at 8:45, and I'll talk about some of these same things, and we'll get started on the lesson. If you're watching this in school, I want you to look at your teacher and make your eyebrows go, what? What are you doing? We should be meeting with Mr. Brennan right now. So I hope you have a great first day of this pivot, and I will talk to you today.